Read people like a book video summary. BookStoryTime, yo. BookStoryTime crew. Ready to crack the code on people? Boom. Ever wish you could read minds? Well, buckle up, because Read People Like a Book by Patrick King is about to make you a human lie detector. This YouTube vid from Book Insider drops straight up genius on decoding people's vibes, why they act the way they do, what's driving them, and how to predict their next move. From body language to secret motivations, this is your playbook for understanding anyone, from your bestie to your boss. Whether it's spotting a fake smile or figuring out why someone's always mad, you'll be reading people like an open book in no time. Book story time, fam. Let's jump in and unlock the secrets to owning every convo. Introduction. People are books. Learn to read them. Ever wonder why your coworker flips out over criticism, or your friend's always helping others, even at their own expense? Read People Like a Book says everyone's got a pattern, how they think, act, and make choices. Crack that code, and you can predict their moves like a psychic. These patterns come from their past experiences, emotional needs, and psychological wiring. That cranky friend? Maybe they got chewed out too much as a kid. That do-gooder? Could be they're chasing love through self-sacrifice. This video, based on Patrick King's book, teaches you to spot these patterns by analyzing behavior, body language, and motivations. From personal relationships to work life, you'll learn to read people's true intentions and build better connections. Book story time, crew. Let's ditch the guesswork and start reading people like the pros. Decoding behavioral patterns, the video kicks off with a banger. Every person's behavior follows a pattern shaped by their past and emotional needs. Get this, someone who loses it over small stuff, like a Seattle barista snapping when you point out a wrong order, might have been criticized to death as a kid in Tacoma. Their brains wired to go into defense modes, so they argue to protect themselves. Spot that pattern, and you can predict they'll blow up next time they're called out. Or take someone who's always helping others, even when it screws them over. Maybe they learned in their Portland childhood that love comes from putting others first. Their pattern? Sacrifice for approval. By noticing these habits, you can guess their next move and handle them better. The key? Pay attention to what they do, not just what they say, and connect it to their past. Action steps. Watch closely. Notice how people react in different situations: anger, generosity, or avoidance. Dig deeper. Ask yourself, what's driving this? Past trauma? Need for love? Predict moves. Use patterns to anticipate how they'll act next. Reading patterns is like having X-ray vision for people's motives. Book story time, fam. Let's start cracking those codes. Words versus actions. Spotting the disconnect. Here's a pro tip from the video. People's words often lie, but their actions spill the tea. Someone might say they don't care about opinions, but if they sulk for weeks after criticism, their actions scream otherwise. Like, imagine your Denver coworker claiming they're cool with feedback, but they get salty every time you suggest a tweak. Their words say chill, but their vibe says ouch. That gap shows their true feelings, caring way too much about others' opinions. The video says to watch for these mismatches. If someone acts confident but dodges tough questions, they're probably faking it. Spotting this helps you predict how they'll handle future situations, like getting defensive when challenged again. It's all about reading between the lines. How to spot it? Compare talk and walk. Do their words match their behavior? If not, trust the actions. Look for triggers. Notice what sets them off. Criticism, praise, or stress. Stay sharp. Keep an eye on repeated gaps to confirm their true intentions. Words are cheap, but actions don't lie. Book story time, crew. Let's get savvy and read the real story. Context and consistency. Environment matters. The video drops another gem. People's behavior changes with their environment, but consistency reveals their core. Someone might be a jokester with friends in Austin, but dead serious at their Dallas job. That shows they adapt like champs. But if someone's always serious, no matter where, say your cousin in Houston who never cracks a smile, that's their true personality, not just a setting. Some folks put on a fake front to impress, like acting super confident but crumbling under pressure. Watch for patterns across context to spot the real them. A guy in Chicago who brags about being fearless but stumbles over tough questions? Probably masking insecurity. Consistency is your clue to our authentic self. How to analyze, check context, how they act at home, work, or with friends. Spot fakes. Look for forced behaviors that don't hold up under stress. Track patterns. Consistent traits across settings reveal their true nature. 1,400 words. Context is king, but consistency is the real MVP. Bookstory time, fam. Let's decode who people really are. Psychological needs drive behavior. People's actions are fueled by psychological needs, says the video. Some need to be right, so they never admit mistakes. Others crave attention, always stealing the spotlight. Picture your Miami friend who dominates every group chat. They're not just chatty, they need eyes on them. If someone else takes over, they'll get antsy and try to grab the spotlight back. Others love control, like a bossy coworker in Atlanta who micromanages everything. Their need to dominate drives their vibe. By spotting these needs, validation, attention, control, you can predict how they'll act. Someone needing approval might sulk if ignored, while a control freak will push back against challenges. Knowing their core need is like having a cheat sheet for their behavior. How to use it? ID the need. Is it attention, control, or validation driving them? Predict reactions. Expect attention seekers to act out if ignored. Adjust your approach. Tailor how you deal with them based on their need. 1,800 words. Needs are the engine behind behavior. Bookstorytime crew, let's figure out what's driving people's moves. Decision making. Past fears and desires. Big decisions aren't just about the moment. They're tied to past experiences, fears, and desires. Contrast that with someone who jumps on every chance, like a Seattle entrepreneur who grabs every deal. Their past taught them that quick moves lead to wins. By analyzing why people make choices, fear of loss or chasing success, you can predict their future decisions. Risk averse? They'll dodge challenges. Opportunity hungry? They'll dive in head first. How to predict. Trace the past. What experiences shape their choices? Spot fears and wants. Are they avoiding pain or chasing pleasure? Guess the move. Use their history to predict their next step. Decisions reveal the soul. Bookstorytime fam. Let's start forecasting people's plays. Body language. The truth-teller words can lie, but body language spills the beans. The video says facial expressions and gestures reveal what people hide. Imagine your Phoenix friend saying, "I'm fine," but their voice is low, eyes down, shoulders slumped. They're not fine. Their body's screaming it. Happy people have sparkling eyes and slight smiles. Sad folks show heavy eyes and tight lips. A coworker in Boston who says they're cool with everyone but tenses up when a certain colleague walks in. Their clenched fists and averted gaze say there's beef. The video stresses watching for clusters of cues, crossed arms, stiff face, leaning back to confirm emotions. One cue alone, like folded arms, might just mean they're cold, but multiple cues paint the real picture. How to read it? Watch the face. Eyes, lips, and brows reveal true emotions. Check the body. Leaning in shows interest. Leaning back screams boredom. Look for clusters. Combine cues with a full story, not just one signal. Body language is your lie detector. Bookstorytime crew, let's get fluent in reading vibes. Motivation, pleasure, or pain avoidance. The video breaks it down. People are driven by two big motivators, chasing pleasure or dodging pain. A coworker in Denver who grinds extra hours, they're chasing success, pleasure. Another who avoids risk in Boulder, they're dodging failure, pain. Take a kid in school. They study for praise, pleasure, or to avoid punishment, pain. Say you suggest hitting the gym to a friend in San Diego. If they're pleasure-driven, they'll see better health and confidence. If pain-avoidant, they'll think about dodging illness. Even anger ties to this. Someone in Chicago who snaps easily might fear losing respect, rooted in past struggles. Understanding their driver helps you predict their moves and handle them better. How to apply it? Spot the driver. Are they after joy or avoiding hurt? Tailor your pitch. Highlight gains for pleasure seekers, safety for pain avoiders. Predict behavior. Expect pleasure seekers to chase risks, pain avoiders to play it safe. Pleasure or pain is what makes people tick. Bookstorytime fam, let's use this to read their playbook. Maslow's hierarchy. What's driving them? The video dives into Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs to explain why people act the way they do. There's a 5-level pyramid, and where someone's at shapes their vibe. Bottom level, basic needs. Food, water, shelter. A struggling artist in Detroit skipping meals won't care about self-improvement. They're focused on survival. Level 2 is safety, job security, health, stability. A guy in Cleveland stressing over job cuts? They'll prioritize stability over risk. Level 3 is social. Friends, family, belonging. Someone lonely and awesome will chase connection over career. Level 4 is esteem, recognition, and respect. A Miami influencer posting flashy pics? They're after validation. Top level, self-actualization, living with purpose. A Portland activist pushing for change? They're there. Knowing someone's level helps you predict their priorities. How to use it. Pinpoint their level. Are they after survival, safety, love, respect, or purpose? Match their vibe. Talk survival to the struggling, purpose to the dreamers. Predict priorities. Their level shows what they'll chase next. Maslow's pyramid is your map to people's motives. BookStoryTime crew, let's navigate their needs like pros. Defense mechanisms. Protecting the ego. Everyone's got an ego, and when it's threatened, defense mechanisms kick in to protect it. The video highlights a few. Projection, blaming others for your flaws. A Dallas co-worker who calls everyone else lazy might be dodging their own slack. Denial, ignoring the truth. Someone in Atlanta drowning in debt but saying, "I'm fine," they're in denial. Rationalization, making excuses. A student in Houston flunking a test and saying, "It was dumb anyway." They're dodging shame. Repression hides painful memories, like a Chicago kid who can't recall childhood criticism but fears feedback. Regression is acting childish under stress, like a stressed-out Seattle boss snapping like a toddler. Displacement is misdirecting emotions, like yelling at family after a bad day at work. Sublimation is channeling negativity into positive outlets, like a painter in Boston turning anger into art. Spotting these helps you see their fears and true feelings. How to spot them? Look for deflection, blaming others. They're projecting. Notice excuses, brushing off failure. That's rationalization or denial. Watch for outbursts, kid-like tantrums, or misplaced anger. Regression or displacement. Defense mechanisms reveal what people hide. Book story time, fam. Let's peel back those layers. Conclusion. Master the art of reading people. Read people like a book is your ultimate guide to decoding humans. By spotting behavioral patterns, mismatches in words and actions, body language, motivations, Maslow's needs, and defense mechanisms, you can read anyone like an open book. Whether it's understanding why your Denver friend's always mad or why your Miami boss fakes confidence, this video gives you the tools to predict moves and build better relationships. Your action plan. Observe everything. Watch behavior, body language, and reactions daily. Connect the dots. Link actions to past experiences, needs, or fears. Practice patience. Understanding motives helps you stay chill and connect better. Keep learning. Study people's patterns to get sharper at reading them. Every person's a story. Learn to read it. Book story time, fam. Let's master this and make every interaction epic. Keep the book story time party lit. Vibing with this read people like a book summary? Subscribe to Book Story Time for more mind-blowing insights to level up your life. Drop a comment. What's one behavior you've noticed in someone that you want to decode? Share this with friends, co-workers, or anyone who needs to get it. Let's stop guessing and start reading people like pros. Your love keeps our mission popping, Book Story Time crew, so smash that subscribe button and let's keep the wisdom flowing.